We all know the story of the Mighty Ducks. The world loved them during their formative years. It was the classic tale of the haves versus the have-nots, in which the underdogs always came out on top.
Charlie Conway was America's sports sweetheart at the time. Before him, there was Ali. After him, there was Michael Jordan. But this was Charlie's time. They were household names by the time they got to high school. Goldberg, Russ Tyler, Julie the Cat, Connie Moreau, Adam Banks. In fact, many people suspected that their fame had led to their junior varsity scholarships, something that Eden Hall had previously never given out.
Yeah, I mean, the Ducks were the Ducks, but Eden Hall's a different kind of beast altogether. They're an institution in the hockey world. They even had former NHL player Ted O'Ryan as their coach. They're the best of the best.
O'Ryan was a defensive-minded coach. And the Ducks, well...
The Ducks had always been about their offense.
She shoots, she scores!
It seemed like everybody hated them when they first got there. I mean, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but it was certainly an adjustment for this young Ducks team.
I remember, a lot of the varsity players were mad because the arrival of a full JV squad meant that there wasn't room for their younger siblings to play.
Not only was there a lot of adversity for them to overcome, but the level of play had been raised. And Ted O'Ryan knew that.
I believe it was, your little duck tricks aren't going to work here anymore. That got us going.
Yeah, I mean, teams in this league, they knew about the knuckle puck. They knew about the flying V. They knew about the triple deke. The newly renamed Warriors lost their first JV game by 9 goals.
After a few games like that, the board of trustees at the school seemed to be second-guessing themselves. They decided to hold a hearing to discuss revoking our JV scholarships.
The hearing was a media event unlike any other I can think of. Maybe OJ, but I mean, the Ducks captivated the nation in a way that defined both the impact the media can have on sports and the impact sports can have on America. It's not looking great for Charlie and the gang when suddenly, who shows up?
Bombay.
Bombay.
Former Mighty Ducks coach Gordon Bombay. Bombay threatens a lengthy and public litigation process if Eden Hall reneges on their scholarship.
But the Ducks had to stand up for themselves, so they challenged the varsity team to an exhibition game that would decide the fate of their high school careers. The ensuing JV varsity game was one for the ages.
It was a big deal then, too. National coverage, professional announcers, Paul Correa of the NHL's Mighty Ducks there as a spectator.
They even made a movie out of the story. They sensationalized a lot of it. I mean, the guy from Dawson's Creek playing Charlie Conway was a little too handsome, but, that's Hollywood.
The game got a little chippy at the end. There were a lot of cheap shots. The refs said they were letting the kids play.
Dean Portman sent a varsity player through the glass. I mean, this was not an ordinary hockey game.
I wish I knew what Bombay said to Conway before the game. But it's most likely something we'll never really know for sure. An unsolvable mystery, like who built Stonehenge, or who was Jack the Ripper, or when will people stop making jokes about the unsolvable mysteries at the end of Lost.
He said that he told Coach O'Ryan that I was the heart of the team. And that I was the real Minnesota Miracle Man. I know it sounds like gibberish, but it's not.
So the game's getting a little out of hand, violence-wise, and O'Ryan changes the name of his team, which is against the rules, and he makes Conway captain again, which is also against the rules. I mean, things were still looking bleak until from, the far reach of the stadium, you hear it. Quack.
Quack. Quack. Quack.
Quack, 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 quack. Yeah, even though we were down 5-3, we just committed 2 penalties. Orion told me to take my shot.
Conway breaks away. He's got nobody in front of him. And in a shocking but classic Charlie Conway move, he passes the puck to Goldberg, for Christ's sakes. And Goldberg scores.
The nation's emotions were lifted, just as the Ducks lifted their trophy for their JV exhibition game.
People always said there would never be another Miracle on Ice, and that those stars would never realign. But they could have never predicted that night. Ducks fly together.